Welcome, everybody. My name is Caroline, and I'm very happy to be with you today for the last webcast of the season. And this one today will be about cybersecurity, which is a very important topic today. So I will just quickly introduce myself. So as I said, my name is Caroline. I work at PwC for more than 7 years now, and I am in charge of organizing all kinds of events for you students so that you can meet PwC people and know more about all our job opportunities and what we do, and yes, everything that is important to know at PwC. So today for this webcast, we will have two guests from our cybersecurity team who will talk to you then about cybersecurity. They will speak for about 30 minutes, and then we will have 15 minutes of Q&A. So during all the webcast, if you have any questions that pop up in your mind, please feel free to type them directly in the question chat that you have below. So then we will be able to see the questions and we will answer to them at the end. I think that's it on my side. So I will now leave the floor to my two colleagues, Dorothea and Nadine.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Dorothea. I'm a manager in the cybersecurity team here in Zurich, leading the competency of ethical hacking, and looking very much forward to present together with Nadine today our cybersecurity practice. Nadine.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nadine. I'm also part of the team of the cybersecurity competency of PwC. I also work from Zurich. I'm a consultant and I have been with PwC for roughly 1.5 years.
Great, so then I take over and show you what we're going to tackle today together. So first of all, why cybersecurity? Why would PwC do cybersecurity nowadays? It's a very, very current topic and we're very lucky to talk about with you. Then what do we offer as a practice? We also want to show you a little extract of our work, which is actually the most interesting part in my opinion. And then what the opportunities would be for you students to join our team and to get experience in cybersecurity. So let me start with the first question. So why cybersecurity? So when we prepared our presentation, I thought I'd just come in with some statements where you can see right away why we need to support our customers or soon-to-be customers, because it's a very, very current topic. We see attacks all over the place and it is not an easy topic, so a lot of investment where it is not directly seen what it's meaning for the company. So that means if you're preventing attackers to get in, you usually don't see the impact they could have. But at certain points they do have, and we see that the community is getting more and more professional. We see real business models behind the attacks going on. So there is ransomware as a service, which is actually a very lucrative business for the attackers. So Nadine and I, we were looking a little bit what we can show you. These extracts were found in the darknet, so not publicly accessible. You need to do some work around to get there. We are very lucky to have a threat intelligence team within our network. We are working very closely with all different territories to get these informations as well, and then we are sharing together to inform our clients if they were hacked. As you see here, they are recruiting as the business is growing, but you cannot just go there and be part of a hackers group. You need to provide something. You need to be quite successful in giving them something to be part of it, which is very interesting, and do not recommend to do that because it's not legal business. Then you see Air Corsica, which was hacked, and lots of employee and customer information were leaked, which is not only a problem in terms of reconnaissance. So when your data is out there, it could also they can be reused. So that's one of the reasons why you should use different passwords, etc. And you can also see Itecor, which is a consulting firm in Vevey, which just got recently hacked, and they claimed to have access to their credentials and infrastructure, which was sold on another platform. You see there are lots of challenges, and not only in the darknet. Our landscape is evolving, and there are regulatory requirements, and there are new forms of working. Let's look at the current situation with Corona. We have lots of changing factors within our industry, and we are helping our customers in a lot of different aspects. So I'm coming from a very, very technical part, but we do have lawyers in our team. We do have strategic consulting for our clients, where we have more a business point of view. But Nadine will take over now and show you what we are offering to our clients.
Thank you very much, Dorothea. Yes, I want to go into the topic of what are we offering to our clients, what are the topics that we cover. So to have an overview, we have, you can call it 4 pillars of competencies within our team. And these 4 pillars you can see here. It's cyber risk advisory, cyber resilience and defense, cyber technology and transformation, and digital trust and cyber culture. So I don't want to read you just all of the notes that are on the slides. Maybe I can say a few words to each of the pillar. So in the cyber risk advisory pillar, it's really about consulting our clients with all the possible risks that they might face. We do assessments where we review their documents concerning cybersecurity. We do interviews with the relevant people from their teams. And also we do on-site assessments where we look at their offices, if they are secure, or maybe also we look at the data centers where our clients store their data. We also review their cybersecurity strategy, their governance, and also we look at their risk management, how they deal with risk, how they mitigate their risks, and so on. We also look at their third-party connections and also their supply chain, if these parties are secure and or if they might be a risk to our client itself. In the cyber resiliency and defense pillar, that's really like the active part of our team. There are the people that are the real firefighters during an incident. Like if a company, that is our client is hacked, or there's a data breach, or also like a ransomware enrolled in their network, then the people from our team go to the client side and support them to really deal with the mess that comes with such an attack. We also, in this competency, we have the crisis management, where I want to go later into more detail when I talk a bit about my work in our team. And also in this pillar, we have the ethical hacking, where we really do hack our clients, of course, with permission. We do pen testing and also threat hunting. Yeah, that's this pillar. And also we have the cyber technology and transformation pillar. That's really about how we advise our clients with their technical environment, and we consult them in getting their environment to be more secure. There are topics with transformation to cloud. We look at their identity and access management. We look at vulnerabilities their network might have, and so on. And last but not least, we have the digital trust and cyber culture pillar. That's really the part where we advise our clients to be compliant, how they deal with data protection and privacy, and how they are really bringing their organization to a secure level. We advise our clients how to reach cybersecurity certifications. We train their staff to be aware of cybersecurity issues like phishing emails and so on. Like we advise them in or support them in internal audits. It's really a huge palette of services we offer to our clients. And now I want to go into how to really start to be secure in our cyber world. With our clients, first of all, we have the questions: how mature is our client already? What measures do they already have in place? And also, where do they want to be in the end? And then we create a strategy together with our client and look what measures do need to be taken to reach the goal. We help them to be more resilient, and we really try to prepare them for the worst case and build up their resilience to spring back to normal when anything happens. And also we, of course, look at their level of compliance, because there are a lot of rules when you're in business and they need to be followed, and you need to have an overview of what rules need to be followed in the IT or cybersecurity world. And also there are regulators that organizations need to report to, and we help our clients to be compliant with these topics, and also, of course, avoid fees in case that something is not that compliant or not already. So yeah, that's really an overview of our work with our clients. So now we want to deep dive a little bit into an extract of our work. We both, Dorotheen and I, will tell about each of a project we worked on in the last few months. And my project I want to deep dive into is a crisis simulation. So our client we did the crisis simulation with is a top-tier Swiss private bank with more than 6,500 employees all over the world. And yes, the initial situation is that there's always the possibility to get hacked. Like, it's not the question of when, if something bad happens to your organization, it's more a question when it does happen. And the other question is, how prepared are you when something happens? And so this client is aware of that, and that's why they contacted us and they wanted to do a crisis simulation, because there are you need to have to define responsible teams, you need to have the roles defined, you need to have processes and templates in place, and you need to have the communication ready when an attack or a data breach happens. And of course, the client has already all of these things in place, but you also need to test them to know that you're ready when something happens. And for these tests, we come in place. We do a crisis simulation with them, and we detect their weaknesses in their processes, in their whole organization, and then we give them their information and they can fix their weaknesses. So our approach with this client was we hacked the bank, like we did a real-time attack. We had, of course, information from the inside. We have some people that were from the bank that could give us some information that we can enter the system. Of course, all of this hacking was with permission, otherwise it would be quite illegal, and that's not our approach. The responsible teams that manage the crisis or incidents, they were only informed about the date and the time when they need to be ready, but they did not have any other information about the attack and what range we will tackle. So we really had real attackers that exploited weaknesses from the outside, and they really hacked the bank. They moved around their network, and to really catch the attention of the crisis management, we streamed the whole attack on the internet. Of course, it was only for the not in the real internet, but for the event of the crisis simulation. And that was really interesting because in such a crisis simulation, you really have the top management from the whole organization there. Like there was a room with head of IT, head of HR, head of financial, head of whatever. All the most important people from the bank were in one room, and we showed them a live stream of how the attacker moved through their networks and their systems, and also their really their active networks. And then first of all, they need to deal with this, and they need to get their best incident response teams out and really try to get the hacker out of their system. But also with a crisis like this, you don't only have the problems with the hacker itself, but also with a lot of different parties, like the press, because they really want a statement from the organization when it got hacked. Also, you need to deal with social media. As I said, we streamed the attack, so that's you need to cover the social media and see if something gets posted on there. And then you need to handle all of these aspects to look that your reputation does not get that damaged. Also, you need to communicate to the regulator here in Switzerland when you get hacked, and also your own employees. And here I have a small example of how you can really be creative in our job. We played several injects to the management, and one of the injects was this fictional employee of the bank that experienced the attack as he could not work anymore because his workplace was shut down. And so he tweeted a meme that he will not work anymore. And that inject, that tweet, we gave that to the head of HR, so that they can react to this, how to deal with this explicit employee, and also the further communication to all the other employees, how to deal with the situation, and if they get contacted by the press, what do they say, or do they say anything at all? And yeah, that's just a small example of the several injects we played during the crisis simulation. And of course, we were there as well in the room, and we noted down their reaction, their responses to the different injects. We looked at the communication between all the different responsible teams, how they took decisions, how they managed the crisis. And in the end, we handed out a report with, of course, a summary of the crisis simulation, what happened and what was going on. We gave them a rating of how strong and mature they were with their crisis management. And of course, we listed all the good aspects, how they really did a good job. And in the end, we also mentioned some areas of potential to improve. And also with these reports, you always need to be aware that these reports will land at the management level, and you really need to bring them a report that they are happy about their progress, and also that they want to work on these topics that maybe have some potential to improve. Yeah, that was a small insight to crisis simulation. Now I want to give the word to Dorotina, and she will have some interesting insights into black box pen testing.
Yes, so as you see, you can even do a mesh situation of pen testing and crisis simulation. That would have been the real-time attack they performed in the case of Nadine's project. I just want to give you a small insight on how we do work together also in our network, how we do approach our clients. So we were talking in an initial meeting with a small nonprofit organization, and we were planning a black box pen test. That means we had no clue, just the name of the organization. And we were working there quite strongly and also closely with our colleagues in France together. We have a center of excellence there. They have a lot of pen testers, and we were able to work with them on this project. So we did two approaches. One of the approach was getting in from the internet. That was performed first by doing reconnaissance, which is mainly having a look on all available information, not only in the internet, but also in the darknet. And then we also had another approach where we went on site to the client, who is actually in Zurich and Geneva. So which is also something we are doing all the time. We're working very closely with the Geneva office and the Zurich office, and it is great to have this diverse team. And here in this project, it was France, Geneva, and Zurich, and even within PwC, we had different business units involved. So this was really interesting. So what is interesting about this black box pen test, it was a kind of a standard approach. It was really cool. I was part of it. We went on site to do the Wi-Fi testing. We did it because it was super, super cold. We did it out of the car in front of the building, which was actually really nice. I performed it with a colleague in the team, and it was a very nice experience. In the meantime, doing the reconnaissance with our threat intelligence team in France. At a certain point, I think it was like 10 in the evening, I got a call from my colleague there, and we found a data breach of an online shop where one of the employees in a very important position got hacked, or not got hacked, the platform of this online shop was hacked and her data was leaked. So we had to inform the client in a very calm way, and also in a very political correct way, to explain exactly what the issue is, because the password leaked on the online shop was the same password as used in the system. And this is something where we really see that not only our technical skills are used, but also our empathy and all that these technical projects are not only coming with a technical report in the end, but it also has a great impact on our clients. And lucky us, we found this data breach, so the client could change all the passwords again and reset some of the accounts which were immediately affected, not only in the business world, but also in her private life. So this is something which is very interesting, because we see nowadays you have so many passwords to remember, probably use the same in your private life as in business, or I hope not all of our listeners are not doing that, because it's not best practice, but still it's something which is happening from time to time. And we really try to make our clients aware that this is not best practice, and how to prevent these kind of data breaches, which could also affect your business life. One of the examples would be a crisis simulation or awareness trainings, etc. Yeah, when we do these kind of pen tests, we have no clue. We are doing reconnaissance, then we try to exploit some of the vulnerabilities. We are writing phishing emails, which is one of the things Nadine is doing great as her tweet she did in the project of the crisis simulation. So it's also a creative job where I'm unfortunately not the best in, but it's very interesting to do these kind of approaches from all different kind of tools, and also to get the best view of the attack surface. The pen test was quite successful. We had a lot of findings. We found some servers on the web which should not be on the web. Sometimes we see a lot exposed which should not be exposed. We could give the client a very good immediate technical advice how to remediate these findings, and how to get a better maturity on their posture against attackers. And I really can say that probably when you hear PwC, I was also one of these person. You don't think of cybersecurity right away, but we are doing really hands-on technical stuff. Of course, we do have the other aspects as I heard before, but we are also doing some really cool technical stuff in terms of ethical hacking, incident response, implementation of all these recommendations we're doing to our clients. For example, the network segregation when it comes to zero trust. So we really have hands-on experience as well. And I can tell you it's quite cool when you can say that in your career you were sitting in a car in front of a building trying to hack the Wi-Fi of a client with permission. As Nadine stated, we only do this with permission. It is really nice, and it is a very exciting job. So I hope that I could, or we could give you a good overview of what we are doing, some extracts of our daily life. And we're looking forward to the questions in the next few minutes. I hand over to the last slide, Caroline.
Yes, thank you very much, Dorentina and Nadine, for all these explanations about cybersecurity. And yes, so if you have any questions, it's now time to type them so that we can answer to them. And before we go to the Q&A, I just also would like to speak a bit about recruitment opportunities and events. So just know that we offer so many events during the year. So we have this webcast series that we have like every 1 month or so on different topics. For example, we had one last week on financial audit. We also have many events. We have the Karen lunches online, and we have, for example, coming the PwC's technology consulting workshop on April 21st, or tax workshops in Bern and Zurich. So many events. If you want to find the list, you can go on our Career website and you have everything. You can register to some. Some others are in universities, so you can attend just like this. We also have all the open positions online, so you can also have a look. And if there is any positions that is interesting to you, you can of course apply. For cybersecurity, that would be my colleague Patricia, who is dealing with this position. So you can also see here her email address if you want to get in touch with her. And for any opportunities that you can find online, you have the name of the person in charge of the recruitment. So if you have any question on the position, you can also get in touch with the recruitment team. And yes, and we are also available, of course, on our different social media channels or by email. Yes, and I think that's it on my side. So I don't see any questions so far. So please, if you have any, we will maybe just stay a bit in case of someone wants to ask a question. I hope you enjoyed the webcast. Yes, if you have any question on the recruitment process, on the positions, to Dorentina or Nadine regarding their job. Okay, so first question. Hello, thanks for this presentation. My question is, if we apply for an internship at PwC, how practical can our work be? So maybe I can just start by answering that our internships are real positions. So it's not like you will go and make the coffee for the team. It's really not like that. It's really like like an associate position that you will start doing. I don't know, Dorentina or Nadine, if you experienced this at PwC or if you have any training with you at the moment, and maybe you can tell us more.
Maybe I can say a few words about the trainee. As I started as a trainee 1.5 years ago, and then after the 6 months of my internship, I got offered a permanent position. I am not really coming from a technical side, so I can't really say anything about if you can do the pen testing in your internship. Maybe Dorentina can say a few words about this. But what I really can say is the same as Caroline already mentioned. You don't go there in your trainee and serve everybody coffee. You really are viewed as a normal employee of the team. Maybe you have a bit of more the starting acceptance, so you can it's possible to make more some mistake. I mean, it's always possible to make mistake because you learn from your mistakes, and but still you're really viewed as a normal employee in the team, and it's really a cool experience. You can see if you like the job, if you like what you're doing, and also you can prove that you're a good match for the team during these 6 months. So maybe Dorentina, you want to say something about support on your technical projects from trainees or beginners?
Yes, definitely. So the internships are all about, I mean, we're a business-driven company, so usually our goal is to be on client projects, and as soon as we have a profile, we're looking at interns or trainees, how we call it, as normal employees, and we try to stuff them on interesting projects based on their background. And yes, of course, you can do hands-on work if you want so. Still, of course, it's about learning a lot. It's about having some insight in different projects, and we're trying to usually find the best fit also in terms of what our trainees want to do in the future or what they want to see. So Nadine was doing some configuration monitoring with me. She did crisis simulations during her internship just to get into different kind of areas. I think we also did some assessments, even on-site assessments. So we went together to a DC, to a data center, and we're looking into all the security postures there of our client.
Thank you very much. Then I have a question. Do you work a lot across the different teams, legal, tech, risk, advisory, etc.?
I take this question. I was working on the project as well with Nadine. As you see, we're working quite a lot together. So we did, for example, a ransomware assessment where we worked very closely with the legal team in terms of questions like what jurisdiction is in place when you want to have these when you want to pay ransom, or are you even allowed to pay ransom? Because if you pay ransomware, it's seen as financing terrorism in some countries. So tackling all the legal questions, also data breaches, what kind of data needs to be declared, etc., to authorities in terms of incidents, all these questions are definitely raised within legal teams, which is also super interesting. Then we have risk advisory. Yes, we're working very closely with them. Sometimes we are going on risk advisory projects to help them on cybersecurity questions and do some deep dive on a technical side. And this is something which I can really say I profit a lot of our internal experts, because you can learn so much.
Thank you very much. Next question. Which are your offers in terms of internship, master's internship with a master thesis in this domain? Well, we usually are quite open if a student needs to do a master thesis during his internship. So I guess it's quite flexible, and it also needs to be discussed with the team and the student. What kind of profile are you looking for in the cybersecurity department? So I will maybe leave that to you, Dorothina or Nadine.
Yes, I can take this question. So we're looking mainly right now on technical resources. We are looking into a lot of tech background, but this does not mean that it's only business informatics or computer science. We are also looking for profiles which are a bit more diverse in terms of that we could do, for example, legal assessments. So we do have some colleagues with a legal background. We do have some, or a lot of colleagues with an economy background, where we go more into strategic consulting. But yes, right now in the cybersecurity department, we are looking for technical backgrounds, or at least people which are very interested in getting experienced and skilled into this domain of cybersecurity and tech. So I think I can take over the next question as well, as I see it down there. Is there any learning possibilities during work, for example, to improve languages or learn technical or legal skills? Yes, there are a lot of opportunities. We do have internal resources. That means we do have even academies for cybersecurity, which is for the whole network. We do have budget for doing external trainings like SANS, for example. We do support a lot of on-job learning, and we do support, for example, certifications like the OSCP, also in terms of legal skills. Language, yes. Nadine probably can say something to that. And I can also say that when I joined PwC, I was stating on my CV that my French is fluent, and you will also be challenged on that. So right now I'm also working quite closely with my French-speaking colleagues on French-speaking projects, which is sometimes a little bit of a challenge, but still our clients are very patient. And also when it comes to the written work, of course, we do have some colleagues which can have a look over, for example, Caroline, who can help on these kind of questions. But Nadine, I mean, you're one of our certification queens. Maybe you can tell us more about the skill, the upskilling within PwC.
That's a really nice name you gave me there. I will write it into my CV too. Certification queen. No, PwC is really open for new possibilities to do certifications, not only technical certifications, but also some in project management, and also some in language certifications. There's the possibility to do like English certifications, because that's our corporate language. And for other languages, if you are coming from abroad or something, or when you come from the western part of Switzerland and you work in Zurich, then you are allowed to do German speaking courses, and the opposite, of course, too. So PwC is really happy to support and make it possible that you can have some trainings.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, it's true that we invest around 10% of our turnover to training and training opportunities for our employees. So it's really important for us. Next question. If someone studied mechanical informatics but shows skills in networking and cybersecurity, would you consider the application?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we are. I can just say yes, definitely. Network and technical background is really it sounds really interesting just with this question. And honestly, we're also investing a lot into cybersecurity skills, and we do not expect someone to work totally independent on our project. So definitely, if the person is interested in cybersecurity, it would be great. I'm looking forward to get this CV. And maybe I can take over the next questions as well, as I see we have quite a lot of them. So internship, usually we start with 100%, but it is possible to reduce. This is also an investment from our side. So this is, as it is business driven, we usually need to find a client which suits, but yes, of course, we would also look very happily into this application. How easy it is to rotate between departments, for example, beginning in legal, then technical, and then finally strategic. It is possible, but usually this is a big investment also from our side when it comes to a very diverse career. Probably there are other departments which are a bit more suitable for that than cybersecurity, because this is quite specific, and we would be very sad to lose someone after 6 months to another department after we trained the person in cybersecurity. I give this back to you, Caroline.
I'm sorry, I didn't get this.
About rotating programs.
Yes. So regarding the rotation between the departments, we have a specific program in advisory, which is called the EDGE program, where you can rotate every 6 months in the different advisory departments, but it's quite in the same, well, it could be in deals, in consulting, so, but it's still in advisory, it's still the same core thing. It could be a bit more tricky to rotate between too many different departments. For example, if you start in tax department and then you want to go in cyber, it's definitely not the same skills that we require. So this is where it's going to be a bit more complicated. Nothing is impossible, of course, and we really try to adapt and to be flexible for the person at PwC. So you will have a coach, and then this is something that you can also discuss with this person and express your interest, and you can maybe do like maybe what you can say like small internships into another department to maybe have an overview of what's going on, if that could be interesting for you. So as I said, nothing is impossible, but it will still require for you to have the basic knowledge that we ask for the position that you want to do at PwC. I will go up to the next question because we are running out of time. Thank you for the webcast. So it's a person coming from a business administration, but working in a digital startup with the person is learning Python, advanced JavaScript, coding language, completed an SQL course, and asking if that would be enough if the person keep learning on her own, or does she, I think it's a she, needs to really come from a technical background?
No, we also take diverse profiles, which is super interesting, especially when there is also some work experience, which is great. I think this is, I cannot say now that it's sufficient, but we definitely would there's definitely a chance there when there is some startup and technical background. And we do not do only technical work. There are some projects where you can also do other things. I quickly, as we are running out of time, take up the other questions. There is one question about working from Geneva, being sent to Asia. It's not, I can say it's not a wish list, but yes, you can travel. We do have international projects. It's just not a wish list. Definitely, it can be stated that people like to go to Asia, but we are not. We are doing that based on the business needs of our clients. Then we have another questions in regards of proactiveness to reach out to clients. No, not in the beginning of the career. I'm a manager now in PwC, so from this level on, it is required to also do some approach, but there is always an existing client base, and you can work on the clients you had experience with. And this is, believe me, sales skills will be trained by on the job, and definitely not required in the beginning.
Thank you. Yes, that will be, I think, the last question. So do you have to be able to speak French, or is English and German enough? I guess it will also depend on where you are working. So English is our working language at PwC. Of course, if you're in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, you will also be asked to speak French and German in the German-speaking part, but it also depends on the team and on the position. We have some, so if you're working in Zurich, you do not need absolutely to speak French. It's of course a plus, but it's not mandatory. I will close the questions here, but thank you so much for all your questions. Just to remind you, because we had a lot of questions on that, we are also looking for really personalities, and of course you need to have basic knowledge, but we are also looking for a team spirit person and a person who are really willing to invest and help us to make PwC grow. And this is what's the most important to us. So thank you very much. Thank you so much, Dorentina and Nadine, for having this webcast with me. And there will be a small survey when you close the window. So if you can take 1 minute to give us our feedback, that would be great. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Dorentina and Nadine.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.